Hello everyone, it's Representative Mike Tobash here at the 103rd Annual Farm Show. Good to be here this afternoon with Secretary Russell Redding. I've had an opportunity to be here for the last number of years, Secretary.
Great to see you.
It's good to be with you.
Welcome,
and
thank you.
You've spent a little bit more time at the farm show than me, even though for me it's a 10-year now annual tradition. But you're telling me about 1974. Tell me more about that.
Well, that was I've been to the farm show prior to that, but being an exhibitor with dairy cattle in the show ring was 1974. I was a freshman in Gettysburg High School.
So you have tremendous heritage and history with agriculture. We appreciate the hard work you're doing for agriculture for the state of Pennsylvania.
My pleasure, thank you.
And let's just talk a little bit about this year's farm show. What's unique about this year after 103 years?
Well, I think there's a couple of things. One is, we've really tried to reformat our commodity areas, we call it. That's where the apples and honey and cheese and vegetables, all of that had been a display area previously. And we said we've got consumers who really want to know who's feeding them, right? They know what a farm market is. Let's create a farm market inside the farm show complex. So where you can see the display, but you can also buy the product and meet the families who are producing those products. It's a really nice development for both the farm show, but also ties in with folks in our communities who are trying to stay connected to us.
Farmers markets are such an important part of small communities, ones that are revitalizing themselves, little small cities, right? One of the anchors is the farmers market, and with the success of Pennsylvania Preferred, understanding like we all do now, I think more than ever before, that people really want to purchase local products.
Right. We thought we'd try it. It's interesting because certain, even within agriculture, the apple marketing guys were pretty good at marketing. Potatoes would say it's sort of available, cheese is there. We put it all together and have it look like it's actually a market. So I'm pretty excited about it. The response has really been positive to both by the exhibitor, but also by the attendees here at the farm show.
Excellent. So far, so good with the weather this year. I mean, there's always a little bit of snow, and we only have just a trace amount of snow right now, but weather looks pretty good for the show this year.
Weather's been amazing. When you get a statewide map, we may get something here yet in the rest of the week, but to get through the first weekend, with temperatures where they were, crowds were extraordinary. A lot of good feedback, a lot of fun here. Looks like we've got a good week, so I feel pretty good about it.
So we're here at the beginning of a year. We're also here at the beginning of a session, right? So there's new members of the legislature, both the House and the Senate. But your work continues with the administration. You've done outstanding work. We've got some issues that we've talked about over the last session that continue to be a problem: dairy farming.
Exactly. It's every third conversation here at the farm show is about dairy, right? It is so important to us. And we've made some good progress. I'd like to say that things are better. They're a little better than they were, but they're not where they need to be, just based on the markets. I know what the income issues are with the dairy producers. We're taking some effort here with the dairy study and the dairy investment program that you supported last year in the state budget, and we've got 28 applications for different dairy projects in the state. I think that's where it starts, right? You've got to start changing this conversation about what we've been doing to what we need to do, and that gives us a chance to do it.
Our ability to process a little bit more in the state of Pennsylvania and give stuff a longer shelf life, kind of one of the important elements that we hear other states have taken advantage of, and maybe we're behind the curve.
Well, I think there's a convergence of things. Certainly that's a piece of it. We don't want to give up our sort of fluid market, because that's where the profit margins are for Pennsylvania. And that's one of those issues that's come out. At the same time, folks aren't drinking as much fluid milk. They're eating more cheese and yogurt, so we've got to invest in those areas. So we can do better. I think that the whole study and the investment programs sort of highlighted where's your strengths, where do you need to focus as a state, and that's been encouraging for us. I think it really gives the dairy industry, some confidence that we as public servants know what we're doing here.
Yeah, I've got a good friend, and your friend too, Glenn Thompson, G.T. Thompson, right? So, and they worked hard on the farm bill at the federal level. So we've got some encouragement. One of the conversations I had with him on a day, I just never forget the comment. He said, it's not nutrition if people won't eat it or drink it. So, I think we've learned a lot about 1% milk and skim milk, and I know that there's a big push on to get whole milk back in schools and at the federal level with you as well. So I think the conversation that as a kid, I enjoyed whole milk. Still love a milkshake here at the farm show.
Right, good stuff.
But not drinking as much. Youth is not drinking as much as they were. Certainly when I was young, as far as milk products go. And then the sugar drinks really haven't curbed obesity or other things that we're worried about.
There's this really strange, consumer pattern, around beverages, right? And it's interesting because you look at dairy, all that's packed into dairy from a cost standpoint on the unit nutrition. People ought to be buying more of it, right? They're buying less of it. They're buying more cheeses and those things. But every alternative that they're going to away from milk is more expensive. So the price issue for me is sort of a fascinating question. Secondly, I can't buy a 6-pack of milk. I can get a 6-pack of juice, of beer, of water, you name it. Every beverage. I can't buy a 6-pack of milk. Why is that? And I keep asking the question right? So my household,
consumer convenience, packaging, right?
It's about packaging. The cereal in the morning goes in my shirt pocket.
Sure.
I go out the door. I don't take the milk with me. And I just think I'm fairly normal like that, that there are a lot of families with kids rushing out the door. You've got to connect them back together. So if one's convenient, the cereal's convenient, then the milk has to be convenient. And the single-serve chocolates, I think, are, there's opportunity there. So I share that just to say that as we think about dairy, there are some things that we've adopted as sort of normal consumptive patterns around milk that we need to take a hard look at.
So many facets to the marketplace, and I appreciate the fact that we're focusing on it, certainly to the 125th District, Northern Dauphin County and Schuylkill County. Dairy is an important part of what our agricultural footprint and what our framework. So let's just talk really briefly, if it's okay, about food safety and what the department's doing to make sure that we've got a food safety program that's important to deliver from the farm to the plate and keep that food safe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can get as much as I like to talk about PA preferred and markets, at the end of the day, it's public health and safety, right? And that's a really important part of agriculture. That's at the farm level, making sure the produce and the dairy products and other products leaving those farms are to the highest standards. Through the supply chain, we as a department have part of that responsibility, particularly at the retail level. That we want to do that and do it well. At the same time, we do a lot of the home canning and home kitchen is part of it under the Department of Agriculture as well. So a lot of responsibility there when you think about the number of 50,000 restaurants in Pennsylvania, and we have most of them as a responsibility. So the support we receive from the Department of Agriculture, USDA is important, but also the support from the legislature is critical to us. So thank you.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So keep up the good work. So
We'll do that.
we showcase agriculture here, and we do it at the farm show in a very fun way. We got some events that are coming up, and I know that we have a draft horse racing competition tonight. I think we may compete against each other. Is that? How do you feel about your chances?
Well, I don't know. This is a changed up event from what we've done in the past. So I had a chance on Saturday to watch some folks who are really good at it. So I'm not sure whether that's going to be to my benefit, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun to be in the ring with you.
Okay, well, I haven't seen the new strategy yet, but it's going to be enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I just noticed that the governor won a cheesecake because of the Philadelphia Eagles victory, right? And so he was going to have to give up a cheesesteak, but instead he won a cheesecake. I'd be happy to wager a milkshake on this. On the next round.
We'll do that.
Okay,
we'll do that.
Good deal.
That's good.
Thank you for everything you're doing for agriculture in the state of Pennsylvania. It's always a pleasure to work with you.
Pleasure's mine. Thank you. Good to see you.